Evening, everyone. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock. It's on the 23rd of January. And we've been reading through the book of Exodus. Tonight we're going to be reading through the Exodus, the 14th chapter. This is the account of Pharaoh being drowned in the Red Sea. And it's quite an account of the mighty power of God. I'll make some comments. I'm about to lose my voice tonight, so I'm going to try to selectively make comments, but I'm going to turn this over to Mark and have him read this chapter to you. Let me make sure this is okay.
Exodus chapter 14, the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speaking of the children of Israel that turned and camped before Pharoah between Megiddo and the sea over against Baal's pond, for it shall be camped by the sea. Pharaoh say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. Harden Pharaoh's heart that he will follow after them, and I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host. The Egyptians may know that I am the Lord, and they did so, and it was told the king of Egypt, the people fled. Heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people, and they said, Why have we done this? We have let Israel go from serving us. Made ready his chariot and took his people with him. They took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with an eye and hand. The Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them and came by the sea beside Pharoah before Baal's Peon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid, and the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians, for it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians, or we should die in the wilderness. Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. The Lord said to Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground in the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will give me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, upon his horsemen. The Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor unto Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. The angel of God, which was before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them in the pillar of the cloud, went from before their face and stood behind them, and it came between the camp of Egyptians and the camp of Israel. It was a cloud and darkness to them, but it came light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. The Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land. The waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground. The waters were a wall unto them on their right hand, on their left. Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen, Came to pass in the morning watch, the Lord looked unto the host of Egyptians, the pillar of fire and the cloud, and troubled the host of Egyptians. Took off their chariot wheels that drave them heavily. So the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel. The Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand over the sea, the waters may come again, and upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, upon their horsemen. Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. The Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and the waters returned and covered the chariots, horsemen, and all the host of Pharaoh that came in the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. The children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians. The people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses.
Well, you know, this must have been quite a thing for Moses to have to go through. You know, Moses was not a very, remember how when the Lord originally called Moses, and Moses said, I'm not he wasn't a real forward kind of a man. He was kind of a backward sort of a guy. But God said that he was going to harden Pharaoh's heart, and he would turn and they would follow him. And that certainly did happen. And it says that Pharaoh started having second thoughts. Why do we let him go? He said. You notice that he took 600 of his chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and the captains over every one of them. He was really hardened, wasn't he? And they really pursued after him. And the people said, what did you do this? Now you get us to leave so we would be drowned out here in the middle of the sea, Red Sea? Moses said, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Lord shall fight for you. And the Lord told him to stretch out his hand over the sea. And we know what happened. The sea rolled back and dried up. And before it happened, God told Moses that he'd gotten honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. So anyway, I always like that verse that says, took off their chariots' wheels. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength. And the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea. And the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. Well, God has the power to save His people. I'm going through a situation right now where Rosette and I are trusting the Lord that He would make a way for us through the Red Sea. I won't go into the details, but we're going through some things right now that are not very comfortable for us. It's much easier if you know what's going to happen, but when you don't know what's going to happen, it makes it somewhat difficult, doesn't it? But God can give us the strength to rely upon Him. May the good Lord be with you. I like this last verse. And Israel saw the great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and His servant Moses. Well, I know God has intervened for me in the past, and I know He'll do it again. May the good Lord be with you tonight is our prayer. God bless.